there is this side effect. It's called Paradoxical Adipose Hyperplasia.
This is called, and I have to read it because I am not a medical professional. I did not get my bachelor's or my master's in anything medical, so I have to read it, okay? It is called Paradoxical Adipose Hyperplasia. I tried. It's on the screen.
No, Mademoiselle, I cannot have you giving up just because you don't have a PhD. That's no excuse to plead insanity or play dumb in front of a word. So we will demystify paradoxical adipose hyperplasia and a few other things. Come with me. For context, we are talking about a cosmetic procedure for fat reduction called Coolsculpting that can backfire and leave you bigger and lumpier. So, Mademoiselle, you probably know what a paradox is. It's something that happens despite logic or your expectations. Like these truisms. You have to spend money to make money. The more you learn, the less you realize you know. The harder you try to keep someone close, the more you push them away. These are paradoxes. The Latin roots break down to para, distinct from or protecting against, and dox, opinion. It's the same para as in parachute, protects you from a fall, or parasol, a thing that protects you from the sun. And dox, it's the same dox as in orthodox, straight opinion. You also see that root in doctrine, dogma, document. So you can see where we're going already. You've had this cool sculpting to kill your fat cells, and here you are, bigger than ever. It's a paradox. Adipose means related to fat. You rarely see this word outside of medical or biological contexts, and that's because doctors like to speak in code. They like to use words that you don't understand. Instead of saying fat, they say adipose tissue. So that's a big 3-syllable word that you just have to remember. The connections to other words that you're familiar with are so stretched out that it's not worth going into them. You can follow it all here. Latin, adiposis, said to be from Greek alepha, from Proto-Indo-European leap, which does show up in lipid, which is related to fat, but we can do that in another video.
I don't know how to say it.
Hyperplasia, the enlargement of an organ or tissue caused by an increase in the reproduction rate of its cells. So we're looking at more fat cells being produced, or an increase in the size of fat cells, some sort of like hyper, what does it mean? The Latin. Hyper, meaning beyond, plasia, formation. It's the same hyper as in hyperactive, more active than normal. Some people just say hyper. Or hyperbole, an exaggeration, something that's not meant to be taken literally. You can make tons of words with hyper. Hyperacute, hyper-aware, hyper-intelligent, and plasia. That's the same P-L-A-S as in plastic, something that can be formed. Or any word ending in plasty, like rhinoplasty, nose forming, that's a nose job. Or mammoplasty, that's a breast job. So let's put it all together. Paradoxical adipose hyperplasia. An increased formation of fat cells that shouldn't be happening because presumably you've killed them off and flushed them out of your body. Don't collapse in front of a couple of words. These words were invented by humans and they can be puzzled out by humans. And getting on top of them can help you when you confront words like aplastic anemia, toxoplasmosis, hyperglycemia, hypergamy. You run across a word like that for the first time and you'll have a start. You'll have a start on figuring it out. And you'll have a better chance of remembering it once you learn it. All this information is at your fingertips nowadays. The definitions, the etymologies, the pronunciations. So go get them, flex your literacy, and tell me what else you want to learn.